They say every ghost has unfinished business. But me? My business was stolen, my name buried, and my soul left to rot. I was framed by the only man I ever trusted, my brother in everything but blood. They called me the Ghost, because no one who crossed me ever lived to tell the story. Before we begin, hit subscribe to Mafia Hidden Diary, because once you enter my world, there's no walking out. 5 years. That's how long I've been dead. Not buried, not gone, just erased. I became a rumor, a warning. They called me the Ghost, and for a while I liked the sound of it. It made people nervous. But tonight, standing in the shadows of Birmingham's underbelly, I realized something. Ghosts don't scare people anymore. They entertain them. I watched a deal unfold beneath a flickering streetlight. 2 men, nervous, shuffling cash for guns. Same kind of dirty trade I used to run. My fingers itched like muscle memory remembering sin. Then I saw him, Callum Ward, my brother in everything but blood. The man who left me to rot. He laughed, that same half-smirk that used to mean trouble. But what caught me wasn't his laugh. It was the glint on his wrist. My watch. The one I wore the night he betrayed me. Unbelievable. I muttered under my breath. You're still playing dress-up in my skin. The streetlight hummed above me. I took a slow step forward, then stopped myself. Ghosts don't walk into the light. They wait. Someone shifted behind me. Didn't think I'd ever see you again, a voice whispered. I turned. Ruby Hale, small, sharp, always with a cigarette hanging off her lip. She looked me up and down like I was an old wound she wasn't sure she wanted reopened. You look like hell, Graves. I've seen worse, I said. She smirked. Yeah, 5 years in a graveyard of your own making. Still talk too much, Ruby. And you still show up where the dead don't belong. She flicked her cigarette. You gonna tell me why the hell you're watching Ward's Boys? Or should I guess? I looked past her toward Callum. He's wearing my watch. Ruby laughed under her breath. That's what this is about. A bloody accessory. It's not the watch, I said quietly. It's what it means. He took everything. My crew, my rep, my life. And he's walking around like I never existed. She blew out smoke. You did exist. Until you got sloppy. I stepped closer, my voice low. You think I got sloppy? They set me up, Ruby. Callum sold me out to the syndicate. He made the deal, then blamed me when it burned. Ruby's smile faded. The syndicate? You sure? I buried enough of their men to recognize their stink. She hesitated, eyes narrowing. Then you should know they don't leave jobs unfinished. If you're breathing, it's because someone wants you breathing. Her words hung there, heavy. I'd thought about that same thing in 1,000 sleepless nights. Why did they let me live? Why bury my name but not my body? I'm not here to wonder why, I said. I'm here to end it. Ruby tilted her head. End it how? You think you can walk back into this world like nothing's changed? Ward runs half of the North now. He's got the syndicate behind him. You go after him, you'll start a war. Then it's about time the war remembered my name. She studied me for a long moment, then sighed. You really are insane. Maybe, I said, but I'm still breathing. Ruby flicked her cigarette away. You want info, I can get it. But it'll cost you, I figured. She pulled a phone from her coat and started typing. Ward's not just dealing weapons now. He's moving intel, names, routes, offshore accounts. And you won't like this part. He's using your old network to do it. Your ghost stories are scaring people into silence. They think you still run the show, I laughed. The kind that hurts the throat. He's using my name? Ruby nodded. Every rival that disappears, they blame the ghost. You. He turned your legend into his shield. Something cold twisted in my gut. Then I'll turn his shield into a coffin. Ruby looked uneasy. If you go down this road, there's no coming back. I already didn't come back, I said. This is just the afterlife. She pocketed her phone. Then you'll need a map, Ghost. The syndicate's running a meet in 2 nights. Callum will be there. But if you walk in... I won't walk, I interrupted. I'll watch. Same as tonight, Ruby hesitated. You're really doing this, huh? I met her eyes. You think I crawled out of the grave to forgive him? She exhaled sharply. Then do what you do best. Be invisible. Be patient. I'm not patient anymore, I said. I'm hungry. Ruby turned to leave, her heels echoing down the alley. Careful, Aiden. Hungry ghosts end up eating themselves. I looked back toward Callum. He was shaking hands, smiling. The perfect man everyone trusted. My oldest friend, my deepest wound. I could have shot him right there. But death was too quick. As he disappeared into the car, I whispered to the empty air, "You can fake a name, but not a conscience." And for the first time in 5 years, I felt alive again. Birmingham never forgets its ghosts. It just buries them under new lies. 5 years ago, I was one of those lies. Now I'm the shadow picking them apart, one secret at a time. Liam Frost leans back in his chair, chewing on a toothpick like it's the last good thing in his life. "Mate," he mutters, eyes glued to the flickering laptop screen. "You really know how to pick your enemies." I stare at the footage he's playing. Callum Ward, standing at a podium, a polished grin on his face. Cameras flash around him. "We're rebuilding this city," he says. "One business at a time." My jaw tightens. "Rebuilding? He burned it down first." Liam chuckles dryly. "You'd think he's a bloody saint the way they clap for him. Look at that. Perfect suit, no dirt under his nails. Man's reinvented himself." "He's wearing my watch," I whisper. Liam glances at me. "You serious?" "Yeah, the one from Marseille. The one I bled for." He pauses the video, zooming in. The silver glints under the lights. "You sure you're not ready to just walk away?" I glare at him. "You think ghosts walk away?" He sighs, rubbing his face. "Didn't think so." The hum of the old warehouse fills the silence between us. Broken windows let in the sound of distant traffic. The world outside, still spinning like nothing happened. Liam taps a few keys, pulling up a map. Red dots light up across the city. That's the syndicate's transport routes. Drugs, guns, cash, all running under fake business fronts. Callum's just their face. I nod slowly. Then we cut the face first. He gives me a sidelong look. "You're not the same bloke I remember, Aiden. You've gone colder." Dead men don't stay warm. He shakes his head but doesn't argue. "You've got an ally now, whether you like it or not. I owe you." "Then help me find the route," I say. Callum's just the smoke. I want the fire. 2 nights later, I'm watching a newsroom through a cracked window. Ava Sinclair sits at her desk, typing like she's racing time. Her walls are plastered with clippings, articles about corruption, missing funds, and a legend, the ghost of Birmingham. She doesn't know I'm real. I slip an envelope through her letter slot. Inside, a photo of Callum shaking hands with a man from the syndicate. No name, no note, just enough to make her curious. From across the street, I watch her find it. She frowns, glances around, then pulls it open. A small gasp escapes her lips. She grabs her phone, dialing fast. "Liam," I whisper through my earpiece. She's biting. "You sure this is smart?" He asks. "She's digging for truth." Let her dig in the right grave. By morning, her article drops online. Who is the ghost? Birmingham's shadow or savior? Liam shows it to me with a smirk. "You've gone viral, mate. Internet loves a mystery." "She's doing half my work for me," I say. "She's also painting a target on herself. You know how the syndicate deals with curiosity. I'll keep her safe." He laughs under his breath. "You? The bloke who faked his death and vanished for 5 years? You planning to show up with flowers and a thank you note?" I glare. "I don't do flowers." He smirks. "Didn't think so." That night I break into a syndicate warehouse. Not to steal, just to watch. Callum's voice echoes from a mezzanine above, arguing with a man in a black coat. "You don't understand," Callum snaps. "The ghost is gone!" The other man, older, colder, replies, "Then why is your name all over these leaks?" Callum hesitates. "It's Ava Sinclair." "She's digging." The older man steps closer. "Then bury her." My pulse spikes. I press my back to a pillar, every muscle coiled tight, so that's how they play it. She finds truth. They bury it. I wait until they leave before slipping out into the night. Liam's voice crackles in my ear again. "You get what you needed?" "More than that," I whisper. I found the reason. Back in the warehouse, Liam's typing fast. There's chatter on the dark net. Someone wiped the original deal files, the one that got you burned. I lean over his shoulder. "Can you recover them?" "Maybe, but it'll take time." "Then do it." He hesitates. "Aiden, when you find out who ordered it, what then?" I stare at the screen, at the frozen image of Callum smiling for cameras. Then we stop pretending this was just betrayal. It was business, and you? I'm just finishing what they started. The monitor pings. A recovered file flashes open, names, numbers, codes, at the top of the document. The Syndicate Internal Order, YAR 47 issued by Director Marcus Hale. Liam frowns. Hale, any relation to Ruby? I exhale slowly. Her father. For a long moment, neither of us speaks. Then I mutter. Looks like ghosts aren't the only ones who remember. Manchester. Different city, same rot underneath. The syndicate's casino gleamed like a diamond on the outside, but I knew the smell of sin when I felt it. The sound of roulette wheels and fake laughter covered everything that mattered. Fear, guilt, and the ghosts people tried to drink away. My badge said security consultant. My real reason for being there had nothing to do with protection. Liam's voice crackled in my earpiece. You're inside? Yeah, I whispered. Looks like money's flowing through here faster than blood through veins. Be careful, he warned. Crane's men run that place tight. You get caught, you'll vanish for real this time. I'm already a ghost, I muttered. Scanning the floor, that's when I saw her. Olivia Ward. Long dark hair, eyes full of something that didn't belong in a place like this. Guilt, maybe. She stood by the bar, counting chips but not really seeing them. I moved closer. Didn't expect to find a Ward here. She looked up sharply, freezing. Who? I pulled the cap lower over my face. Relax, I'm not here to hurt you. Her voice trembled. You're him, aren't you? The ghost. Depends who's asking. I used to hear your name in whispers, she said. They said you were Callum's brother. Used to be. She swallowed hard, glancing around. You shouldn't be here. Neither should you, I replied. But we both know you're not here for the blackjack. She hesitated, then sighed. Come with me. She led me through a back corridor lined with security doors. Inside a dim office, she locked the door behind us. 5 years ago, she began softly, Callum didn't betray you out of greed. I stayed silent, arms crossed. He did it to save me. My laugh was hollow. You expect me to believe that? Tears welled in her eyes. They had me, Aiden, the syndicate. They told him to hand you over, or they'd put a bullet in my head. He tried to run, but they caught us. They said one of us dies. He chose himself. I felt something break inside me, not forgiveness, just confusion. He could have told me. We could have fought back. She shook her head. You don't know Victor Crane. The name hit like a cold knife. Crane runs the syndicate now?
He always did, she said.
He planned everything. The ambush, the setup, even the fake evidence. Callum was just his pawn. You both were. I stepped back, the walls closing in. Crane. The name had come up once before. A ghost in the records. No face, no trace. Now he was flesh. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because Callum's not who you think he is. He's broken. He drinks himself numb every night. He hates himself for what happened. I clenched my fists. That makes two of us. She looked up, voice trembling. If you kill him, you'll become everything they said you were. Her words cut deep. For a second, I saw her face blur into the memory of the fire. Callum's eyes as he left me to die. I turned away. I'm not here for redemption. Then why? She asked. For truth, I said quietly. And maybe justice. She stepped closer, desperate now. Promise me you won't kill him. I met her eyes. If he confesses publicly, if he admits everything, I'll let him live. She exhaled shakily, relief flooding her face. Thank you. But I didn't tell her I was lying. Later that night, I stood on the casino balcony, watching the lights shimmer over the river. Liam's voice came through the line. You get what you needed? More than I wanted, I said. What's that mean? Callum wasn't just greedy. He was cornered. Liam whistled softly. So the big bad friend ain't so bad after all? He still handed me over. Yeah, but maybe the devil was holding the knife. I didn't answer. The elevator doors opened behind me. A man stepped out, tall, silver hair, black suit, the kind that cost more than my old car. His presence chilled the air. Mr. Graves, he said smoothly, I was wondering when you'd crawl back out of the grave. Victor Crane, I murmured. He smiled thinly. I must say your reputation precedes you. Shame about your loyalty problem. Funny, I said, coming from the man who staged the betrayal. He stepped closer, voice calm but lethal. Betrayal? No, Mr. Graves. Strategy. You and Callum were both useful, once. But ghosts don't follow orders. You kidnapped Olivia to control him, I said. You made him trade me for her, he smirked. Sentimentality is such a weakness. I offered him a choice, and he took it. That's what makes humans predictable. Fear, love, guilt, they all bleed the same. I felt the anger rise thick and burning. You made him into a traitor. You made me into a monster. Crane leaned in close. No, Aiden. I simply revealed what you both already were. I stared him down, every muscle tight. You're going to regret this. He smiled faintly. You can't kill a man who doesn't exist. The doors closed behind him, leaving only the echo of his footsteps. Liam's voice buzzed again. Aiden, you still breathing? Barely. What happened? I met the devil. He hesitated. Crane? Yeah, and he's not done playing. I looked down at the casino floor, the people gambling, laughing, drinking, all pawns on a board they didn't even know existed, somewhere among them. Olivia watched me from a distance, her expression full of silent hope. I turned away. I made her a promise I never planned to keep. Liam sighed. You sure about that? Ghosts don't forgive, I said quietly. They collect. It started with a leak. One file, one name, one truth buried too long. I sent it to Ava through a ghost account, watched it explode online within hours. Headlines burned across every screen. Syndicate front companies exposed. Liam called me before midnight. You've done it, mate. Crane's empire's crumbling. It's just the beginning, I said. The world needs to see what he really is. He laughed bitterly. Careful, the last bloke who tried that ended up in a river. Then I'll make sure I'm not the next. The line went quiet for a second. Then he said, You're playing with devils, Aiden. I was one of them once, I said. I know their game. By morning, chaos had spread. Syndicate hideouts raided, money trails frozen, fake businesses exposed. Ava's article went viral. Brave, reckless, dangerous. She didn't know how close the fire really was. I met Liam at the docks. The smell of oil and salt filled the air. He handed me a burner phone. Crane's losing control, but he's looking for someone to blame. Good, I said. Let him look at me. He frowned. You want him to come for you? I want him to think he's hunting me. Liam stared at me. You really believe revenge fixes anything? No, I said quietly. But it helps me sleep, he sighed. You never change. Neither do ghosts. 2 nights later, I got the message. No name, no number. Just 4 words. Trade yourself for him. I knew what it meant before I even saw the attached photo. Liam tied to a chair, blood on his face, eyes barely open. For a long minute, I just stared at it. My heart didn't beat faster. It slowed, colder, steadier. I called Ava. You trust me? Not really, she said. But you haven't lied yet. Then listen carefully. If anything happens to me, publish everything. Every file I sent you. No edits, no delay, she hesitated. Aiden, are you going after them? I'm not going after them, I said. They're expecting me. The warehouse sat on the edge of the industrial zone, empty, quiet, too quiet. I parked 2 blocks away, loaded the gun, and walked the rest. My boots echoed against the concrete. Lights flickered overhead. I could smell gasoline and blood. Liam's voice broke the silence. Took you long enough. He was tied to a pipe, face swollen but smiling faintly. Told you I'd end up saving your sorry arse one day. I crouched beside him, cutting the ropes. You're not dying here, he laughed weakly. You planning to carry me out? Something like that. Then the metal doors groaned open behind us. Victor Crane walked in, flanked by armed men. Impeccable suit, calm eyes, the devil in designer clothing. So, he said smoothly, the ghost finally decides to haunt me in person. I stood, gun in hand. You wanted me? Here I am, he smiled. You've caused me quite the inconvenience. You ruined my life. He chuckled softly. I reshaped it. You were nothing, Aiden. A blunt instrument. I gave you purpose. Purpose? I stepped closer. You turned my best friend into a traitor. You made me your scapegoat. Semantics, he said. You're not a ghost, Aiden. You're a story I wrote. I fired first. The bullet shattered a light above him. The room exploded into chaos. Gunfire roared. I hit the floor, rolling behind a pillar. Liam grabbed a gun from a fallen guard, covering me. Left side, he shouted. I see them. Bullets tore through the walls, sparks flying. I returned fire, catching one man in the chest. Crane ducked behind a steel crate, laughing. You think this ends here? I shouted back. It ends when you stop breathing. Liam grunted beside me, clutching his side. Blood soaked through his shirt. Stay with me, I yelled. He smiled faintly. Been worse. The room was smoke and screams. My ears rang. I saw Crane heading for the exit. Calm, collected, untouchable. Crane! I fired, the bullet grazing his arm. He turned, smirking. Next time, Ghost. Then he vanished into the flames. I dragged Liam outside as fire licked up the warehouse walls. The night air hit like ice. He coughed, choking on blood. "You shouldn't have come," he rasped. "I don't leave people behind." He laughed weakly. "Still the same idiot. Save your breath," I said. He gripped my sleeve. "Listen, I planted a bug." "On Crane's car. GPS. You can find him." My heart clenched. "Liam!" He shook his head. "No time. End it. For both of us." I pressed a hand to his wound. "Don't you dare die." He smirked faintly. "Ghosts don't cry, remember?" "Shut up," I muttered. He tried to speak again, but the words caught in his throat. His hand fell away. For a long second, I just sat there, sirens wailing in the distance, fire painting the sky orange. Then I whispered, "You were wrong, mate. Ghosts do cry." When I finally stood, the warehouse was gone. So was Liam. Only the smell of smoke and vengeance remained. I took his phone, pulled up the tracker. A red dot blinked slowly on the map. Victor Crane's car, heading north. I wiped the blood from my face, tucked the gun into my jacket, and started walking. "Run while you can, Crane," I whispered. "Because the ghost is coming for you." The night smelled of jet fuel and rain-soaked asphalt. I stood by the chain-link fence of a private airfield outside Liverpool, watching Victor Crane's jet hum to life. He was running, again. I loaded the last magazine into my gun. My side still burned from the bullet I'd taken 2 nights ago. Every breath hurt, but it didn't matter. Pain reminded me I was still alive. Barely. Then headlights cut through the fog. A silver car stopped beside the hangar. Olivia stepped out, hair plastered by the drizzle, eyes wide with fear. "Aiden," she called. "Don't do this." I turned, gripping the gun tighter. "You shouldn't be here." She walked closer. "You think killing him fixes anything?" "It fixes me," I said. "No, it breaks what's left of you." I laughed bitterly. "There's nothing left to break." She flinched. "Please, let the law handle him." "Law didn't bury me, Olivia," I said quietly. "Men like him did." She shook her head, voice trembling. "You don't have to be this man anymore." "I don't have a choice." "Yes, you do." "You always did." The engines roared louder. Crane's silhouette appeared at the top of the stairs, calm, deliberate, untouchable. Olivia grabbed my arm. "Don't go. I have to," she whispered. "Then don't die doing it." I looked at her one last time, the face of the only innocence left in this story. "If I don't come back, tell Ava the files are real. Tell the world what he was." Her voice cracked. "And what about you?" "Me?" I forced a thin smile. "I'm just the ghost in the story." I pushed through the hangar doors, the echo of my boots swallowed by the hum of the plane. Victor stood by the stairs, 2 guards on either side. "You made it," he said smoothly. "I was starting to think you'd lost your edge." "Funny," I said. "I was hoping you'd lost your tongue." He smirked. "You can kill me, but you'll never kill what I built." I raised my gun. "Let's find out." He nodded to his men. "Kill him!" Bullets tore through the air. I dove behind a crate, fired twice. One went wide, one didn't. The first guard dropped. The second fired back, missing by inches. I rolled, aimed, and pulled the trigger. Silence, just me and Crane. He clapped slowly. "Always efficient." "That's why I chose you once." "You didn't choose me," I said. "You used me, and you let me." He moved toward the plane door, unbothered. "You think you're free now?" "You're still following orders. Just your own." "Difference is," I said, stepping closer, "mine don't end with blood money." He reached for his gun. I shot first. His shoulder snapped back, blood blooming across his suit. But he didn't fall. He lunged, tackling me hard against the crates. My gun flew. We hit the floor, fists flying. The sound of impact echoed like thunder. He was stronger, fueled by rage. I was faster, fueled by everything else. Loss, guilt, vengeance. He slammed my head against the concrete. Stars exploded in my vision. I grabbed a shard of broken glass and drove it into his side. He roared, shoving me back. "Still think you're the hero?" He spat. "I never was." He swung again. I caught his wrist, twisted, and slammed him into a metal beam. He fell, coughing blood. I reached for my gun, limping toward him. "It's over." He laughed weakly. "You think you're free now?" I aimed at his chest. "The syndicate never dies," he whispered. I pulled the trigger. Once. Clean. He fell back, eyes glassy, smile frozen. For a long second I just stared at the man who'd written my nightmares. The rain hissed against the hangar roof, then the jet caught fire. Flames crawled up the stairs, licking the fuselage. The fuel line must have ruptured during the fight. I stumbled outside, coughing, blood slicking my side. Olivia was still there, tears streaming down her face. "What have you done?" she whispered. "Finished it." She stared at the burning jet. "You killed him. He deserved worse. And what about you?" I looked at my bloody hands. "I already got mine." She stepped forward. "Come with me. You can still—" "No!" I dropped my gun to the ground. "It ends here." Sirens wailed in the distance. Police, fire, everything too late. I turned away from the flames. Olivia reached for me, but I stepped back. "Tell them the ghost saved the city," I said. "Then tell them he vanished." Her voice broke. "Where will you go?" "Nowhere," I said softly. "That's where ghosts belong," she whispered. "You can't keep running." "I'm not running." I met her eyes. "I'm disappearing." As I walked toward the dark fields, the sirens grew louder, the flames brighter. My side burned, my vision blurred, but I kept walking. Each step felt like a confession. "They'll keep calling me the ghost," I murmured. "Because in this world, you don't live to identify me." Behind me, the plane exploded, lighting up the night sky. I didn't look back. Later, Ava's report would play across every screen in the city. The ghost, the vigilante who dismantled the syndicate, vanished before dawn. Olivia's voice trembled on the broadcast. "He saved us." And then he was gone. I never heard it live. I was already somewhere else. A name erased, a story unfinished. Some stories end with forgiveness. Mine ends with silence.